And good morning, everyone. We had so much fun doing this last week, we thought we'd try it again. What do you think? Nick Epifano, the owner and operator of the Epifano McDonald's restaurants here in Fayette County and also in Jamestown's with us once again this morning as we got two shows today. Nick, something a little different. Started the game later this morning, but now we're getting ready to do the Student Athlete Awards.
There's a lot of people here.
There is a lot of folks here.
We couldn't get the picture. We had to break it up.
Which is a first.
Yeah.
Last week we had the pictures on the Facebook pages and stuff, but that was two separate shows. So when you see today, you're going to probably see three pictures. But anyway, we do have a great group of young people and coaches that are here for the Student Athlete Awards. And basically, as we mentioned before, this is based on the students' grades, their academic endeavors, also their athletic abilities and endeavors, and also the community and other social activities and stuff. Kind of looking for an all-around student athlete. That's what it's all about. And what we do is each of the coaches can nominate up to three other players for the award. Then we have an independent panel of judges that Nick has absolutely no knowledge.
And that's the truth, guys. I mean, I know nothing. I don't know. He's got the bat cave somewhere where he does all these calculations and has these people come in, and he's got pigeons bringing nomination forms, and I mean it's pretty cloak in the cloak there. So I don't know what he's got going on.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It has helped a lot since we all went back to all computer stuff.
Yeah.
Where the ADs can just basically send me the emails and stuff, and it makes it so much easier. But anyway, what they do is the judges look at the nominations based on certain percentages for certain things, and then they choose an overall winner. We in turn then notify the schools, they notify the kids, the coaches, and then we ask them all to come and show up for today's show. So they're all here, some a little late than others, but they're all here, and we'll be talking to a total of 8, 1 male and 1 female from Washington Courthouse, Miami Trace, Jamestown Greenview, and also Fayette Christian School. And we'll get started in that in just about 6.5 to 7 minutes. But right now, Nick, a lot of things going on, exciting days. Finally, it looks like maybe we get a break for spring.
Yeah, look, sun's shining today. I think it's really technically the opening day for like Kings Island today and all that, so there'll be a lot of people there. I think we got a Reds game today, So a lot going on. But the key thing is what's happening here, and this is awesome. I mean, we've been doing this over 20 years. I don't know how many hundreds of kids that we've honored and had the opportunity to have on the show. And when we first started this out, it was Randy and this little antenna thing that he brought in.
The old Marty unit.
It was on the radio. So,
yeah, the old Marty unit.
Yeah, and we had to warn people, don't touch the antenna. You could get shocked or burn or, we did it over the phone line a couple times because, the radio system went out. And it's just neat how it's evolved over the years. But, the main thing is, what's taken place over that time that, we've been able to be a part of all these young folks' lives. And, and especially this important time when they're, going to school and student athletes. I mean, not only are they great athletes and great students, but they're great pillars in their community. A lot of these kids, you'll find out, are doing some great things. And it's just so great that, we get to take part in this and really, let them talk about themselves, let their coaches talk about themselves, and kind of record this and have this for a memory for them.
Right.
So they can, do this, look at this back, when they're our age and kind of reminisce or something. But, it's just great. I mean, I always enjoy these shows. I'm honored that, we get to work with the school systems and be able to do this. And, that's a big commitment from all 3 of our school systems. There are all 4 of our school systems, that we're dealing with in both counties. And I appreciate all of them. The superintendents, the athletic directors, the principals, everybody that works with us, because this is a big endeavor to get all these kids here today, the coaches here, a lot of scheduling, there's a lot of pre-work that had to be done because, like he says, the criteria and all the sheets that he sends out have to be filled out, and then that all has to be tabulated and those kind of things. So it's just kind of great to for us to be able to do this and to share this today, especially with all the crazy things going on in our world. It's nice to have something nice that you can
it is
hear about the nice young kids that we have in our community.
What also makes it so interesting is a couple. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think we got maybe 2 to 3 families where they've had more than just one child. They've had 2 or 3 children. They've all been honored at one time or another by McDonald's and stuff. So you kind of get to know those parents a little bit and those kids and things like that. Kind of makes them so special for me, you know, me doing all this all these years, to get to watch them, their participation, and also to see what they do in the classroom and things like that.
Yeah, and it's pretty neat, you know, to look at those families, like you say, and you know, multi-generational too, because some of these, you know, folks, Randy's done their parents, and now their kids are coming through, and we kind of joke about it, but you know, some of them, we're going to have some of the grandkids coming through, but you know, it just shows the, you know, the athleticism of the family, and you know, some of that, you know, so it's pretty neat to look at the history of what we had. You know, I always tease him and always say, you know, someday I want to have like a big banquet and invite as many people back that we could. I'd really love to do that. It'd probably be hard, but you know, it's been a blessing that we've been able to do this. And again, it's one of those things that we talk about, that, you know, you are customers and my great employees, you know, you're the reason we can do these things. You know, you give us the opportunity when you come in and spend money in our restaurants, and you know, our goal, like we always say, we're going to give a portion of that back. And what a fun way to do it when we can do this, among the other things that we're doing. Right. But you know, it's always nice to be able to be with the Hall of Famer over here and be able to do these shows. So we got 2 great shows today, pretty exciting. We got a lot to do. I know you got to get moving. So, you know, the only new thing from McDonald's, because I know you're going to ask me that next.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you that.
Hey, bacon Cajun McCrispy. Okay, I mean, wow, what a sandwich. Try that out.
Yeah.
Okay. Try that. He hasn't even had one yet. We're going to fix him up.
I'm going to take my sausage and gravy. I'm sorry.
Hey, how about sausage gravy on a McCrispy? Hey, there you go.
There you go. Whatever. Yeah.
We'll invent some stuff. But anyway, you know, we're here. It's, you know, springtime, getting into summer. Like we said, there's a lot of things going around the area today. You know, we're here for you to take care of you. 24 hours at the Jeffersonville restaurant, or I mean, Leesburg Avenue restaurant. Not 24 hours here, but you know, if you need us late at night, all night, we're there. And you know, we always want to encourage you to, if you haven't signed up for our app, take a look at that. There are a lot of good rewards on that that you can get, you know, by purchasing products and earning points. And also look at the different ways that you can possibly order from us too. You know, we have DoorDash delivery. So if you're in an area that has DoorDash, you can order it through us and get your products brought right to your house. And then we have the mobile ordering, so you can you know, place your order in advance. Once you get close to the restaurant, it'll trigger us. We'll make your food. It'll be ready for you. So if you want to come in and use the restroom and then grab your food afterwards, you can. You can come through the drive-thru, or you can pull up in one of our check-in stations outside, not even get out of your car, and we can take care of you. So there's many ways that you can use the digital formats that we have right now that can really help you out there.
I'm going to say, you know, going through McDonald's as much as I do with the drive-thru and stuff like that, you actually, as you're going through the drive-thru, you're seeing, you know, the DoorDash and stuff pulling up, or you're seeing people that your crew is bringing food out to them and things like that. Basically, it's trying to make your shopping experience very easy, because like Nick just said, we're all busy. We got a lot of things going on. But if you need something, you know, to get some food and stuff like that, call ahead or have someone deliver it for you to convenience your home or whatever, and they'll be more than happy to.
And we're here to help you too. So if you actually come in one time and maybe you haven't been able to set up your app, or you need a little help, ask us. We'll do what we can to you know, help you out with that. But you know, we want to be where you want us to be, to serve you when you want served, anytime, any day. So that's always been our goal, and that's Ray Kroc's philosophy from going way back. And we're here to serve you. So we look forward to that. And thank you all for giving us the opportunity to do this today.
All right. So again, Nick Epifano, the owner operator of the Epifano McDonald's of Fayette County and Jamestown. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get right into the show. We got 8 young people here, along with their coaches, that want to talk to us, and we're going to allow them.
Sounds good.
That's why we call this an interview show, right?
That's
we're going
right.
to let them talk. So we'll come back and we'll do a little swimming coming up in just a few minutes. Stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget, with that Cajun
All right, we're back here with the first of our Student Athlete Award winners from Miami Trace, the female student athlete, Alexis Strittenberger.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You know, you're none of these kids that I've seen growing up since the small little babies and stuff like that, and here you are, you're senior, getting ready to go off to school, right?
Yep.
Where are you going?
Wright State.
Wright State. What are you going to study?
I'm doing nursing. I'm going to get my BSN in nursing.
Nursing, okay.
Yeah.
What drew you to that field?
My sister's a nurse, and I've seen her really enjoy it, and I've just always wanted to help people in like one of their hardest times in their life.
Okay, well, that's good. That's a good attitude to have. Alexis, I just want to tell you this. I've done a little research last night, and I believe I'm correct. But I believe you are the McDonald's winners that we've had over the 20-some plus years. I think your name's the longest.
That's probably fair.
I kept writing it down. I got to make sure I got all the vowels and everything right and all that stuff so we get the name spelled correctly. So,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about well, who that is. Is that Nick?
Yeah, sorry.
It figures. The guy that's running the cameras didn't mute his phone. Anyway, let's start again here. Alexis, tell us a little bit about your school activities. Classes and things like that.
This year I've had a lighter load for Miami Trace classes. I'm very involved in Southern State. I've taken a lot of CCP so I can get ahead of my program at Wright State. I'm very involved in the FFA, and I've done Spanish the last few years, which was a struggle, but I made it through.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Why Spanish?
Because I wanted my honors diploma, for being honest.
Oh, okay. Hey, be honest, that's good. So is that one of the requirements you take a foreign language?
It's one of the few.
One of the few. Okay, all right. And in case something would ever happen, you'd have to go overseas or whatever.
Yeah, it did help because I took a missions trip to Belize last summer, and it came in handy for sure.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
great. Swimming. Is that the only thing you participate?
I'm in soccer also.
You're in soccer as
Yeah.
well. Okay, so you're in two sports. Tell us a little bit about your swimming. Have you set a record this year?
Yes. So my freshman year, I got our school backstroke record for the 100 back, and then all 4 years, I've just worked towards getting it shorter and shorter. And I think my final one was a 112, which was a district qualifying time for 2 years, which I was very proud of. I was so close to getting a 200 IM record. I think I was like 2 seconds off of it, but that one did come in. But I got first FAC for both of those events, which was I was very happy about.
Okay, now we've broadcast swimming in the past, so I kind of know what your terms are. But for most folks that may be out there listening, let's just kind of stop for a second and explain what you just said. All they're hearing is a bunch of letters.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 200 IM is where you do a 50 of each stroke.
50
yards
meters?
or
50 meters.
Yards.
Oh, 50
yeah.
yards. Okay, 50 yards.
And then you do butterfly, then backstroke, then breaststroke, and then freestyle.
Well, that didn't clear it up at all. Okay, so you're going to have to tell us about that. All right, what's the breaststroke? What's that look like?
Breaststroke, when I teach swim lessons, I always tell kids it's like a frog, almost.
Okay, like this?
No, that one's like this.
Oh, it's like this.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. I'm actually doing this on Facebook. All right, backstroke is when you're.
I can't either.
I know you can't believe it either. So the backstroke is you're on your back.
Yes,
And you're like flapping your legs.
like this,
Oh,
yes.
like this. Okay.
Yeah.
We want it on video.
No, that's what I'm afraid of. You're going to hold this
Give me a
against me.
swimming lesson in the air.
Yeah. And what's the other two?
Butterfly, which is my least favorite. You go above your head like this.
Okay.
Arguably my worst stroke. And then freestyle is your basic, like this.
Like you're doing disco. Well, she's too young she probably don't even know what disco is. Anyway, all right. I told you I love this show, man. Yeah, I never know what's going to come out of my mouth, alone the kids' mouth, you know? All right. So you're going to school, you're going to study nursing. Have you looked at possibly doing the athletics, or you just want to say, hey, I'm going to buckle down, I got to get the classes done?
I did look into joining a swim team, but I'm pretty sure Wright State does not have their swim team anymore,
Oh, okay.
or the club. But they do have their pool, so I'm not going to be on a team, but I still will probably swim in my free time.
Swimming is probably one of the sports that a student athlete can do probably their whole life.
Yeah. Just until recently, I was a guard at the YMCA, and you see people all the time, all ages, and they're swimming laps, and it's just great to see.
That's a good thing you didn't see me there. I'd probably scared you to death with the strokes I've got, let me tell you. All right. Well, now that you've had a chance to get through your soccer and your swim season, how many days are you away from graduation?
Less than a month.
Oh, okay. Just getting it narrowed down.
Yeah, finally.
So when do you start college? August?
Mid-August, I believe.
All right.
Yep.
So 4 years of that? Is that how you want to go?
I haven't decided if I'm doing the 3 or 4 year program. So I can choose to do a 3 year program and go 2 summers if I want to and get my nursing degree in 3 years.
Do you have a specific field in nursing you want to go into, or?
I'm trying to keep an open mind. Right now, children are really where I want to be, but I feel like a lot of people say that and then change their mind once they get into clinicals. So.
Okay, good. All right, well, Alexa, congratulations. You're the winter sports season Student Athlete Award winner for the grades and your athletic abilities and overall things that you've done in the past. It all pays off. And we appreciate seeing you once again. Stop getting so old on me here. These kids just keep getting older and older on me. But it was nice to see you again, get a chance to talk to you. Wish you the best of luck in the medical field, all right?
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to our coach, Coach Keith, right after this.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds, can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite and get down with each crispy crunch.
All right, we're back here now, the student athlete program. With us now is Keith Foster, who's the swim coach. We just have to say Washington Courthouse and Miami Trace.
Correct, yes.
That started a couple of years ago, and it seems like it's really worked out well for you guys, Keith.
It has. It's nice to have them all together swimming at the same time in the pool, and they congeal as a group, and they all get along so well. They do great.
When you look at the league, a lot of people wonder how the swimming programs in this area compare maybe to the rest of the state. Usually Greenfield and Chillicothe has been very, very consistent. Your program continues to improve. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever had someone get to the state yet, but you've had a couple kids have come kind of close.
We've got, this year we had 7 kids make it to districts.
Okay, that's pretty
good.
good.
So, yes, seven kids. We had 4 kids from Washington Courthouse. The medley relay team made it, and then one of those swimmers also made it in an individual event.
Right.
And then we had 3 kids from Miami Trace make it in individual events this year. So they did very well for having the 2 smallest teams in our conferences. Our kids do very well.
I think people sometimes don't understand that the swimming, when you come to the tournaments, it's just a tad different. I mean, you all go to the sectionals, which is what, usually Athens?
Athens, yes.
Okay.
OU.
But there's a lot of waiting around sometimes, because if you don't finish in the top, 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever, you have to kind of wait maybe a day or two to find out if you qualify because of time.
It's usually because they have all of the districts running their meets at the same time. You got to wait for all those results to come in to see if you make it to the next round. So it's always the next day. So you finish up and then you got to wait. It's always on Saturday, and you got to Sunday. You're waiting for that email to come out saying, "Did you make it?" And then you got to go through every single event, and you got to look and say, "Oh yeah, our kid made it there."
Yeah, because I'm going to say after church on Sundays, I'm always looking to see, okay, now did they make it? Did they make it? You know,
Right.
But it's got to be even tougher for you and the kids, because sometimes you think, man, we set a school record or their personal best and stuff, and we're doing great, and you find out we didn't make it.
Right.
It's kind of disappointing in a way.
Right.
I wish there was a better way of doing it, but I guess you just go with what's been given to you by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about Alexa. She's been with you, last 3 years for you? Four years.
4 years. She's a 4-year varsity swimmer.
Okay.
And then she swam YMCA before that when we were coming up through the Y program.
Okay.
So she's been swimming since she was little.
Yeah.
So probably about 9-10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, she's been swimming a long time. Yes.
What were some of the things that you felt that she did well? Obviously, she set some school records and things.
Backstroke is her strongest of the 4 strokes. This year, her senior year, she started swimming the 200 IM and the butterfly, both of those, which are the two hardest events of all your events that you're dealing with. You know, you're doing freestyle, you have 50 freestyle, 100 freestyle, 200 freestyle. You know, when you get into things like the butterfly, that's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different movement, skill set, and she did very well.
When you look at your team overall, including Alexa, does the kids come to you and say, "Hey, Coach, I really think I can do this," or do you say, "I really need you to maybe be part of the relay team," things like that?
Well, we have small, such a small amount of kids really between both teams.
Okay.
All those kids have to do everything.
Oh, okay.
They are masters at everything. And when we swim and we swim and train every single stroke. You know, some kids are better at those strokes and some kids can't do some of the strokes, like maybe the butterfly or the breaststroke, because they're a lot more technical. But they still swim it at practice and we still work it, and it's what we have to do being a smaller team.
When you talk about small team, how many seniors are you going to be losing?
I'm losing 3 from each Washington Courthouse and Miami Trace, so
Wow.
a total of 6 kids.
And you're losing some
combined.
good seniors.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am. I'm losing very strong
The ones that come
seniors.
right top of my head, you're losing Alexis from Trace, Natalie Truex from
yes.
Courthouse.
Yes.
So, and she's won some awards here lately. So, yeah, you're losing a couple of good ones there, but they'll go on to do better things. And
That's right.
As a coach, that's what you want. You want to see them go be successful in life.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, so next year, what's the plan?
Same plan it's been every year.
Show up and let's go.
Same plan it's been every year. Try and get more kids to come out and swim. That's the plan.
Has the Y been able to help you guys some, or is there like a junior high swim program?
I wish. That's Greenfield's strong suit is they have a junior high program. Chillicothe's they have a huge Y program that feeds into it. We don't have quite what we need at the Y level in order to feed into the high school level. I mean, you really need probably 75 kids or so on your Y team in order, to move those kids up into high school, and then, keep feeding your Y program up into your high school program. We have roughly 15, 16, 17 kids on our Y team here. So it really needs to probably double or triple to really get it to where it would be a feeder program for both the high schools.
You know what you really need? You need a good businessman that believes in young people that would like to build a swimming pool in one of the schools. the Epifano pool.
The natatorium, the Epifano natatorium.
There you go. And that
Yes.
way it would increase the number of students that can come out for the team.
Yes, that would
I think my wife would want me to get my pool taken care of.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll work on that one, Keith.
yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Well, Keith, appreciate once again. I think you've had what 3 or 4 kids in the last couple of years.
Yes,
That's
yes.
won the award.
Yes, every year.
And we appreciate you stopping by with us this morning and also speaking words for Alexa. Wish you the best of luck. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, Keith Foster, the swim coach of Miami Trace and Washington Courthouse. Student athlete guest number 2 coming up right after this.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the crispy? It's a party for your taste buds, can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite and get down with each crispy crunch. We'll make the time.
Back here now with our Student Athlete Award. With us now is the male student athlete for the winter sports season from Greenview High School, Chase Allen. Chase, how you doing this morning?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing great. This is a beautiful day outside. Almost a good day to get outside and shoot some basketball out in the driveway, right?
For sure, for sure.
Chase, your team this past season was coming off such a great year the year before, getting to the district finals, but you lost a lot of good seniors, and so you've been kind of, was asked, or you had, I guess, almost, you knew in your mind, you will have to take on the leadership role. How'd it go for you?
It was really fun getting a new role the year before, not playing a lot, but having the challenge of being a leader and leading our team, and just leading our team's fun.
What'd you end up, as far as average was concerned?
I think 15 and
About 15
almost
a
10
game?
rebounds a game.
And you guys did pretty well in the league, or?
Yeah, we got second. We beat Cedarville to tie the league, and then we went and lost to Southeastern we lost by 1 game.
Okay. Overall, how'd you guys do?
Pretty good. A little worse than we expected, but not too bad. About 15 and 10 or so, I'd say.
You had the chance to play with a lot of seniors the year before, and I'm not trying to belabor the point, but I'm trying to show folks that there was a big difference from the team that graduated last year to the team this year, is that you lost, I think it was 6 seniors, if I remember correctly. So there was a readjustment period for everybody.
Yes.
What were some of the things that you guys, Coach Folk, had to readjust with you guys?
Just really building team chemistry, really. I'm the only senior, and we had 2 transfers from Cedarville that I've never played with, and I was the only one coming back with varsity experience, and just being able to build that experience and just how Greenview basketball plays and just molding that in their heads is.
Do you play other sports?
Just golf.
Just golf?
Yep.
What's sports, son?
Yeah.
Let's do sports, you know? How you doing in golf?
I did all right. It's just a little hobby.
Oh, it's more of a hobby. Okay, gotcha. Tell us a little bit about your school activities. What are some of the things you're involved in?
I go to the Greene County Career Center for aviation maintenance and technician. So get my AMP license out of that, and then and Ram Taraj, lead our student section and all that. So
what's that?
Just like head of the student section for like football games and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of an outspoken pep guy, right?
Yeah.
Can't tell by the way I'm sitting here. He's kind of quiet, withdrawn a little bit.
Big sports guy.
Big sports guy. That's good. What are some of your classes that you like to be involved with?
Math. That's my favorite. I'm going to Wright State for accounting. So,
really?
Yep.
So why with the aviation thing?
Well, my dad's a pilot, so at first
Oh, well, that explains everything
I
right
wanted
there.
to be the pilot, but now I'm looking more into accounting and finances. So
Well, that's a good field to get into.
yeah.
Now that you're graduating and kind of sounds like you've got your future lined up in front of like that, if you had any words to speak to the kids that are coming back, what would you try to tell them?
Definitely don't take it for granted. It goes by way too quick. Practices suck, but you just got to enjoy them. They're fun, and I already miss them and regret not taking it for granted.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
On the award. Wish you best of luck. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for
All
having
right.
me.
No problem. Stay right there. We'll talk to his coach right after this. Chase Allen's with us, the Greenview male student athlete for the winter sports season. More in just a moment.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds. Can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite, and get down with each crispy crunch. We'll make the time.
Got folks with us right now. Kyle's, of course, was the basketball coach at Jamestown Greenview. I'm gonna be careful what I ask you here.
Okay.
All right. Number one, any scoops?
No scoops.
No scoops.
No scoops.
You're stepping aside.
Yep.
Just to have time with the family and so forth, right?
Yeah, just time for a little bit of a change. Let somebody else kind of grab the reins of the program and see where they can take it. So,
How long was you the head coach at Greenview?
this was the 11th year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see where it can kind of get you down.
Yeah.
Wear you out. I
Yeah.
don't want to get you down, but wear
Right.
you out. And things like that. You graduated from Greenview, right?
Correct.
So you've had a long history with the school and things like that.
Yep.
I talked a little bit with Chase about the team you guys had 2 years ago. The
Yep.
team that went to the districts and lose a lot of seniors. This year, you're going to lose. Is Kyle the only senior? Was the only senior?
We had 2 seniors this year.
You had 2 seniors
Yep.
this year. When you look at a team or a program, when you have a high number of changes and stuff, what was your expectations with the mostly underclassmen coming back this year?
Yeah, really talking to the staff and everything, our only expectation this year is we thought there was going to be a lot of ups and downs. We had 1 returning player with any real varsity experience. So we expected some up and downs, and I thought our guys actually exceeded where I thought we would be for the year. They did a great job, a fun group to coach. So was very happy with how things actually ended up turning out.
Greenview has always been, at least in my memory, and looking through some of the websites and stuff, you guys have always been strong, especially in the league. You guys have got some tough teams, though, Cedarville and things like that in the league that you got to compete about. What's been the key over the years for the Rams program?
I think it's just the way our kids work. I mean, you're absolutely right. The OHC South took a drop off this year, but the years leading up, the last 4 or 5 years, has been incredibly difficult. Some of the Catholic Central teams, some of the Southeastern teams, and then and Cedarville's been really tough the last few years. So I think you got to have some tough kids that want to work and will buy into what's being taught. And I think our kids have done that for the most part. Going back to a long time ago with Coach Green and Coach Rockhold too, I think that's kind of just the community aspect of it, and I think that's why we've been able to have some success.
Well, you brought back some old names. Those 2
Yeah.
guys, I remember coaching them all these years. So, and there were some good ones. There were
Yes,
some
absolutely.
absolutely great coaches. And hopefully, you're going to be joining in that line as well. And when you look at the program now that you've had a chance to take a few weeks off, months off, kind of look back on the program, if Mark came to you and said, "I want you to have maybe some words of advice for whoever we hire to take your place," what would those words of advice be?
Just trust their gut. I mean, that's what coaching is. A lot of times, I worked with a great coach as an assistant learning up. And some of the early years I was trying to be that coach. You just got to kind of find your own way, and I think as long as they do that, they'll be fine. I mean, the Greenview community and the Greenview players support coaches. I mean, those names that I mentioned, I think there's been 3 of us in the last 40 years, and there's not a lot of places that are like that. Now, a lot of that's Coach Green, and that's a tip of the cap to him, but I don't know many programs in the area that have that kind of stability.
Tell us a little bit about Chase.
Yeah, Chase is a great player. The 2 years preceding this year, he was in a completely different role with some of those players you kind of mentioned, kind of the 7th man in a 7th-man rotation or 7-man rotation. And then this year, all those guys are gone. So he's the guy we kind of looked to that had the experience that the younger guys were going to follow, and I think he did a really good job with that this year.
As you've already mentioned, you're taking a break and things like that. Would you ever consider maybe getting back into coaching down the road?
Yeah, I think as of right now, if you ask me, I would say head coaching. I'm probably good on doing that, but I definitely am interested in being an assistant somewhere down the line, jumping back in.
Would you ever consider going to college?
No, that's not.
That's not your forte.
No, not what I'm interested in.
Too much recruiting stuff going on.
Yeah, recruiting and yeah.
Okay. The family, how was they with the decision?
Well, it's just me, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's good with it.
Okay. Well, that was an embarrassing question. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. Well, again, thanks. I know you've had a couple fellows that won the award in the past. It's always good to see you guys from Greenview get a chance to come over and talk about the kids and so forth. Wish you the best of luck in the future, whatever it is. And don't forget the big guy here. If you ever get a scoop or something, let me know about it, all right?
Gotcha. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
All right. Thanks, Kyle. Kyle Vogt, the former boys basketball coach of the Greenview Rams. More of our star of the game. No, we're not doing star of the game, are we? We're doing the Student Athlete Awards winners. I'll get it straight. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds, can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite and get down with each crispy crunch.
All right, with us now on our Student Athlete Awards program is Mason Mullins, who is the male student athlete for the winter sports season for the Washington Courthouse Blue Lions program. Mason, I took a look at your resume, I guess, or your nomination for him. You're quite a busy fella. Tell us a little bit of all the stuff that you're involved with.
Well, sports-wise, I do bowling, do tournaments pretty much year-round. You know, a lot of coaching for it, and then I also partake in tennis. That takes up a good bit of time. I mean, we just had 4 matches this week.
Oh my goodness!
And then on top of that, I'm on the student advisory council for the sports. And then really, I try to make it to chess club as much as I can, but with sports that doesn't really happen. I mean, my time's always taken up with something. I mean, when I can, I'm also in the weight room.
People don't realize that more and more sports are going toward having weight.
Yeah.
It's being lifted and things like that. What do you lift weights for? What's your purpose behind that?
Confidence.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I used to always be that really skinny dude that, build
I noticed when you was a freshman, I mean, you bulked up just a little bit.
Yeah, building muscles.
You don't want to, got to be careful that when you throw the bowling ball, you don't want to be too bulked up. Or
yeah, actually, it didn't help me too much with bowling or tennis, but
When you're talking about some of the activities you are in school, you take some nice classes, you're involved in the band, things like that, right?
Yeah. Actually, we had a band thing today that I'm missing for it right now.
Oh my
There's a
goodness.
state competition. The band director wasn't too happy with that because I lead the saxophone section.
Oh boy.
And
yeah, sorry about that. You should have let us know. We gotta take care of that.
It's all right. And then the classes I'm taking: AP Government, AP Language and Composition, Honors Pre-Calculus, Spanish 3, Fundamentals of IT, and like partially computer programming, as well as chemistry. And so, sitting at
I'm sitting here like, what in the world is this kid involved with? You got some unbelievable classes there.
Yeah, sitting at A's for all of those except the language and composition, man. That one's never been a English dude, but definitely learning stuff in that class, so
I bet.
That'll help me for college.
Yeah. Speaking of college, with all these courses you're studying, what's your goal?
I got a few schools in mind. Rochester Institute of Technology, Ohio Northern. There's Morehead State.
Yeah.
There's a school in Colorado. It's called Colorado School of Mines. I'm going to try to go to any of those for kind of undecided, but I'm leaning towards mechanical engineering.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We've had a couple kids who've studied that. I think one or two went to Cincinnati or something like that.
Yeah.
It's been several years. With all these things going on, what do you do with your free time?
Don't really have much,
I
actually.
was say, it sounds like you don't have much free time. To be honest with you.
Get
Knowing
home-
you're probably bowling.
Get home after school, it's either bowling or tennis, get in the weight room, do some homework. By that time, it's time for bed.
Yeah. One of the highlights, of course, of your bowling career is you got to go to the state tournament a couple of years ago, right?
No.
Am I wrong?
No. I made it to districts 3 years in a row.
Oh, districts 3 years in a
yeah.
row.
Haven't made it to state yet.
Okay,
That's what we're
well,
aiming for next year.
We got a little pressure on you. You got another year, right?
Yeah, one more.
Okay, good. I'm going to say, if you said, well, no, I'm a senior, I'm in trouble. Well, Nick, it's hard to remember what these classes all these kids are. I mean, I don't know. I thought he went to state for 2 years ago for some reason. Who would?
No, my brother did his
That's
senior year.
why. I know there was a Mullins that went to this.
The encyclopedia is just a couple pages.
Yeah, the first. Okay, your brother went 2 years
Yeah.
ago. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Next year, we have higher chances. I think we're going to be moving down to D2 because we've been pushed up into D1 these last
Right.
couple of years. A lot harder.
Yeah, I go say, I look at the draw that June Trace especially had this past year. I think Hillsborough's going between 1 and 2 and all that. But my goodness, some of the figures I saw that in the D1, it was very hard to be able to come out of that district to get even qualified.
I mean, our team led section, or almost led sectionals, very close against some of the best schools in Ohio.
Right.
And came out of the gates in the district tournament leading the first game, and then didn't even make it as a team. I mean, it's so competitive up there. And then I know freshman year when I was a lower level bowler,
Right.
I was only about 20 pins from making the state competition.
Okay.
So
Now that you've got one more year left, how many kids are you losing on your team?
we're losing a good bit. I'd say significant players would be we're losing Luke Crabtree, Matthew Clay, and Austin Coy. Those are probably our three.
Three, okay. But you do have a good nucleus coming back, though, still, right?
Oh yeah, we'll still be I think a dominant team in our league. I mean, we still have our top 3 players, including myself, and a couple new and upcoming bowlers that are just so much potential.
Good, good. I know one of the things that Coach Colley mentioned when he was covering you, or maybe he was covering the girls and he came over afterwards, you guys actually got to beat Miami Trace in a boys match.
That was
He was so excited about that because that was the first time I think in 5 years he's coached that they've beaten him.
Because I mean, I think we'll beat them next year. They're losing a lot of their players, like almost their whole varsity team. But I mean, when you're beating somebody that's not a great team, you don't get the same feeling that you do. and beating them when they're still as good as they are is
I'm gonna say
great
you want to beat Trace and Hillsboro, especially in the league. You can beat those two programs on a consistent basis. You've arrived.
Yeah, we beat Hillsboro as well this year, which is
so you guys are starting.
Hillsboro is always a good team.
Yeah.
And I mean, we faced them twice. I think the first time we only lost to them by about 14 or 15 pins, which is that's heartbreaking at that point.
Yeah. Well, wish you the best of luck for next year. We'll probably have another Star of the Game award handed out after that bowling match. You may be back here again. Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe back as a student athlete. Never know about that. Keep up the good grades. And if you get a little time, take a deep breath and say, well, I'm glad to have a little break. Because boy, you are busy, young man.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On the award. Stay right there. We'll take a break. We're going to talk to your coach in just a moment right here on the Student Athlete Awards program here from the Epifano McDonald studios on the Epifano Sports Network.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds, can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite and get down with each crispy crunch.
All right, we're back here as we're about the halfway point of our Student Athlete Awards program. Don't go away. We still have some more kids. Also, approximately 10:45, give or take 1 or 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes. Depends how long I talk, Bucky. We'll have our Star of the Game show as well. Bucky Colley's with us right now. Bucky's been coaching the Blue Lion Boys program 5
years.
5 years. I was telling Mason that one of the big highlights for you guys was the fact that you guys got to beat Trace this year.
Absolutely. That was huge for us this year. A big confidence builder for me, myself, and the team. Beating them in Hillsboro all in the same year. Ron Senior's one of my coaches back in my day. He coached me and brought me into bowling, and I've competed against him for the last 4 years and was unable to beat him, and this finally put one on his head, and I loved it. I know it made him mad because he didn't even talk to me after the match. He gave me the hug and walked straight out the bowling alley.
Sore loser. Now that's not right.
No,
come on.
That's just he's just very competitive.
That's good. That's good. That's what you want. You want another coach that's competitive against you. Looking at the program and things, what are some of the things that you've seen a great improvement in since you took the program over the last couple of years?
Honestly, it's the talent and the boys taking it serious, and they're practicing much more during the summertime. They're getting that bowling time in. They're honing in on their skills before the season even starts. It's not like they're just coming out there at the beginning of the season and just start. It's not like baseball where you just pick up the sport and go. They're practicing year round and getting better at the game. That's the biggest thing I see.
I think one of the things people, when you look at bowling, that you have to almost continue to practice is that you've got all these different oils on the lanes and how you hold the ball and stuff like that.
Right.
It's something that requires kind of a full year commitment.
Yep, you got to be consistent at it. I mean, that's the thing about it. You got to commit yourself to it, and you got to be consistent. It's a game of being consistent. You got to do that. You're doing the same thing over and over and over and over. That's what you want to do. You want to strike every time. You got to do the same thing over and over. You got to take the same 5 steps. Release the ball the same off your hand every time. To do that, you got to practice. Yeah, I've done it ever since I was probably 5 years old, and I'm 51 now. And
wow.
So it's And I feel like I've gotten a lot better over the last 10 years just because my mental game's better than what it was back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Younger. I was just got angry too much when I didn't strike. And, now it's just staying calm and being able to. I've averaged over 230 in the last 5 years in our leagues just because I stayed a lot more calmer. And
you don't get striking, you always try to pick up the spare, right?
Right. And that's what I try to tell the boys. You're not going to throw. We got 2 games to bowl. You're not going to throw 24 strikes in a row, boys.
Yeah.
You got to realize that. So you got to focus on picking up your spares when you don't strike. That's the biggest thing.
When you look at your team, you got some kids that's going to be leaving you and stuff like that. Let's talk about Mr. Mullins here and stuff like that. What's he contribute to your team this year?
He's huge. He's been with me ever since his freshman year. I knew him before knew him before he's coming up. So I knew, as I had his brother as a senior, junior, and senior. So
the one that went to the state tournament.
That's the one. That's the one.
You weren't crazy.
Yeah, he's a big part of the team. He keeps the team going. Him and Nick Walker and John Rader will all be coming back. They were 3 key parts of the team this year. All 3 of them finished in the top 5, top 6 in the FAC in average this year.
Yeah.
So it's very, very key that all 3 of them are coming back, and they've all been together as freshmen. Since freshman year, they're a core group of this team. Mason's huge because his mental game's very good, his technical game's very good. He does a lot of practicing. He goes to a lot of other coaches and gets a lot of the technical part of the game. Some of the kids just get the ball and throw the ball. He's more into what's the oil pattern, what is it all about? What is that oil pattern all about? What should the ball do if I lay it down here? What should it, that's sometimes it's a lot of information that he's going through his mind. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm a guy that picks the ball up and throws the ball. He's the one that thinks it through a lot more than a lot of other bowlers.
He's talking about being an engineer and stuff, so he's kind of got an analytic mind and stuff like that. Yeah. He's trying to sort things out and so forth.
Right.
Real quick before I let you go, I know that Nick Walker was the star of the game.
Yeah.
We knew that him and his family was out of town.
Right.
Some grave illness in the family, and they needed to go see somebody today, so we totally understand that. Hopefully things will improve. But anyway, tell us briefly about Nick.
Nick was huge this year. So much improvement. He practiced his tail off throughout the summer. It was actually the bowler of the year for the FAC. He had the highest average by like .02 over, I think it was Nathan Woodridge out of Chillicothe. He is such an improved bowler over the past 3-4 years. It's not funny. He's a key part of the team, really key. He throws the ball really nice. I remember him as a young kid coming out on Saturday mornings and not even bowling. He just sat there and watched his little nephew bowl, and I was like, why don't you get into bowling? And he's like, I don't bowl. I was like, you just need to get into it. And then he finally picked up a ball and started bowling, and he fell in love with it. And he really loves the game and is out there constantly bowling, constantly.
Yeah.
He puts the work in. He's a good kid, well-rounded kid. He's turned into a nice young man. I have a lot of respect for him.
Okay, I wanted to make sure we recognized him because, like I said, I know with the family sickness and so forth, he couldn't be here today. So we appreciate you giving some comments about him. All right, well, we're going to let you go. I know that you've got some things going on this weekend.
Yes.
And who knows, we might see you again next year.
I hope so.
You're on a roll here. Pardon the pun. Yeah. 2 years in a row now you've won?
Yep.
Well, you got some smart kids.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Because, the academics is very, very high on this award.
That's some smart kids. There's no doubt about it. Mason being one of the smartest I've been around. Between him and his brother, I don't know. They're pretty smart.
Okay. That's the one, by the way, folks, in case you didn't know. His brother's the one that went to the state tournament. All right. We're going to take a break. Bucky, thanks for joining us.
You.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be in the second half of our Student Athlete Awards. So stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling taste you won't forget with that Cajun ranch. It's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds. Can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite, and get down with each crispy crunch. We'll make the time.
All right, we're back here now as we're in the second half of our student athletes. With us now is our first representative from Fayette Christian School today, the female winter sports student athlete, and that, of course, is Scarlett Cottrell. Scarlett, how you doing, darling?
Good.
You're none of these kids that I've just seen growing up. Fortunately, I've got you, what, 2 more years? 1 more year. 2 more years.
Yep.
You're only a sophomore. You're the old one in the group, right? The girls program?
Yes, I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. How's that make you feel?
It's extra responsibility that I have to take, but it's good growing experience.
When you look at the program over the last couple of years, you've had a chance now to play under Coach Persinger and so forth. You knew that basically the last couple of years, you guys were going to be young. It's going to be a short team. And I mean in number-wise, what, you only had like 7 or 8 this year, something like that? And I know they're trying to get the junior high program built, so, when they get to the varsity, it's going to be a higher number and stuff. What challenges did that present to you guys as far as number-wise and things like that?
We had to be more conditioned, and we had to be able to keep moving all the time because we don't have a big number of subs. So we had to be always ready to go, always able to stay in the game as long as we could, work together, and just keep fighting. And I think that's something that we're good at. So.
What you guys finished the year at?
We were over 50%.
Okay, I gotta say, I thought you won more than half of your games. You came in second at the tournament that they had for the unofficial league. So you did real well.
Is that the Epifano tournament?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Epifano tournament, yes. One of the things I did notice is that the schedule seemed to be a little bit tougher this year, which in the long run is probably a good thing for you.
Yeah.
Where are some of the places you guys end up playing?
We were able to go against a public school this year, East Clinton, I think we played.
Yeah.
So we got to play them, so that was a neat experience to be able to play public school. We've never done that before. And Ross County is always a hard team to play.
Yeah.
We got to play them, Hillsborough, Adams County, all those teams.
You guys also played Shekinah Christian?
Yep,
The reserve
that was
team?
a new one that we kind of met them at a Cedarville basketball camp that we did.
Oh, really?
And we played them, so we got scheduled them.
Okay. And I think you guys played Grove City Christian too,
Yeah.
the reserve team. So what I'm saying is that Mr. Richmond took over the scheduling this year, and he's starting to slowly get a little bit tougher schedule because, let's be honest with you, you want to play against some of the better schools around the area, and hopefully if the league would come together, that's going to make things a lot tougher, especially like you mentioned with Ross County. Hillsborough is always tough and things like that. What are some of the things you're involved with at the school?
I'm involved in a lot of fine arts things, including choir, different singing groups, tone chimes, mock trial. I help in the office sometimes. Lots of different things.
Okay, you mentioned mock trial. What happened there? Was you Perry Mason or what?
It's a group of, so we got a group of people together. We had like different people playing different positions, and it was basically a mock of a trial.
What'd you play?
I was a witness.
You were a witness.
Yes.
What'd you see?
I just answered the questions, and they kept asking me questions, and I had to keep repeating my answer, but it was an interesting experiment.
What kind of case was it?
It was about a junkyard and people owning the business and different, how the government was involved in it and stuff. So.
Was this based on a true case?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well,
all
you
fake.
never know these days, you know. Now that you've got 2 more years left at school, what are some of the things that Coach Persinger wants you to work on during the summer? Knowing him, I know he's got something he's going to have you work on.
Yeah, I think we're going to go back to Cedarville basketball camp, which I think really grew our team this last year. It made us be able to work harder, get quicker, and different things. Something that I'm going to try to work on is shooting consistency, to have better shooting and be able to drive better and just things like that.
I'm going to say, once you can get your 3-point shooting down, she's one of the best that I've seen. But you know as well as I do, and sometimes it just doesn't be as consistent as you want. If you start hitting those kind of J's and stuff like that, you'll be like, Jake on the boys team. He goes out and scores 20-some points a game. Does the coach want you scoring 20 points a game?
I don't know. I just think if we work as a team, it doesn't matter who shoots the points as long as we can work together and play together.
It's more on defense, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
With him? Yeah. If you scored 20 points, he'd probably have a heart attack.
Probably.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember anybody scoring 20 points. Maybe the team has scored 20 points, but you held the opposition to 18, so that's okay. Well, any other things you're going to be involved with during the summer months?
I'll be tending to my goats, and I have open shows in 4-H, and I have a job at Patchwork Gardens, so I have that going on.
Cool.
I'm going on a missions trip to Utah. So
you're on a missions trip to Utah?
Yes, with Pastor Garen and my youth group. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
So when what are we going to do out there?
It's a work trip, so we're going to be fixing fencing, doing some concrete, just stuff like that.
I think every young person should go on some type of a work team, honestly, in their lifetime. I went on 2 of them, both of them to Honduras, and it opens your eyes to a lot of things. And even if you're in the United States, it's still going to open up your eyes. Number one, to see that there are people that might need, but they're also, when you get down to it, everyone's pretty much the same too.
Yeah.
So that's good. Well, I'm glad for that. Well, congratulations on that. Congratulations on your award. And look forward to seeing you again next basketball season. Okay? All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk to our coach, John Persinger, right after this.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds, can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite and get down with each crispy crunch.
Back with us now is John Persinger, who, of course, is the girls basketball coach at Fayette Christian. John, of course, went and dressed his best today, so he was in the shop. I think that's one of the things people don't realize, especially at Fayette Christian, is you guys aren't getting paid to do these jobs. You're working. I know he's a teacher and stuff like that. So you guys are kind of like donating your time.
I farm for a living, so we're at the shop this morning, and Scarlett texted me, "Are you coming?" I completely forgot about it because I'm thinking about putting on hydra, spraying, getting the seed in, getting the planters out. I just completely forgot about it. Of course, I didn't dress my best, but I did take off my Mommy Trace sweatshirt.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your team this year.
This year, I think we were like 15-6, And basically, we're still a very, very young team. Scarlett was our oldest player, as a sophomore. Then we started a couple of freshmen and had an 8th grader that was our second leading scorer, and then a couple of 7th graders. Still very young. We got a lot better this year. Still really good on defense. Offense, we just have trouble putting the ball in the hole. We get shots and we draw fouls, but we're still not the best shooting team there is.
Yeah, I told Skylar, I said, now, you need to be like Jake. You hit those 3 points on a consistent basis. You can score about 20 a game. I said, but the problem is, coach will probably have a heart attack because nobody scored 20 points on your team, Now, if you only give up 18, he's fine.
Yes.
You won. But that's your kind of your coaching philosophy over the years I've seen you and stuff. You kind of build from the defense first, right?
Defense is first. And well, of course, our man-to-man defense. I love man-to-man defense, but when you're only 5 players deep, 6 players, it just wears you out.
Yeah.
And beginning of the year, we started out playing man-to-man. We beat a team, I can't think who it was, but they beat us every game last year, and we played a zone. This year we played man-to-man and beat them by like 11 points. It just completely surprised them.
Mm-hmm.
So we did mostly man-to-man the first half the season. Then you can see our girls are getting tired and lackadaisical. So they went to the zone, and then it was a great second half season offensively. We gave up 4 points in one game.
Yeah.
And it was just playing half court zone.
When you look at your team, as I mentioned, size-wise, you're small.
Very small.
Height-wise, number-wise, you're small. Sometimes that can be an advantage. You don't have to worry about all practices and work with, but still,
Yes.
you'd like to have a few extra bodies too.
So what's fun is I'm good friends with John Denton, Worcester Courthouse coach, and he's invited us to come to the open gyms this spring. So we've had 3-4 girls go.
That's good.
And the first time we lined up to scrimmage, our girls were guarding each other. So I stopped it and I said, girls, this is the first time we don't have to play against each other. Guard someone else.
Yeah.
And it just didn't occur to him to guard someone else.
Yeah.
Going against each other in practice just gets old when it's 2-on-2, 3-on-3 all the time.
Right.
And so John's invited us this summer to keep coming to open gyms, and I think we will.
I know Scarlett mentioned the fact about the Wilmington camp. She thought that did a real good team chemistry for you guys, and you were able to draw some teams that you played during last season. Chances are you guys maybe trying that again?
Absolutely. It was Cedarville camp.
Cedarville, okay.
Where we went and stayed all night. Great for team chemistry, team morale. I met the coach from Shekinah Christian. Fabulous guy. He's also a farmer.
Oh, okay.
And so we got along. We became buddies. So he gave us names of teams to play, and we played them, and we beat them during the summer.
Okay.
But then they kind of whipped us there. But we were down one girl. Bumpus girl wasn't there.
Right.
And so we had a 7th grader having to play against them. But yeah, that camp we got lined up again. We're all going and we're all excited about participating.
I know that Mr. Richmond took over the scheduling a little bit, and it seemed like it got a little bit tougher, but my philosophy was, if you're building a program the way you're trying to build it, with the young people and each year hopefully improvement, you want the schedule to get a little bit tougher as you go along.
Absolutely. So I believe we got better and better each game, and last couple games of the season we won big, and then we had an add-on game at the end of the season in Christian Ohio Valley.
Yeah.
And didn't know anything about them, didn't scout them. And so they show up and they whooped us by, I think they were up like 25. Then we came back, once we settled down, we came back and lost by 12.
Okay.
But they had a girl that was just incredible. She could drive from anywhere, shoot the 3-pointer. And if we were aware of that, if I knew anything about them, it could have been a lot closer game. But that's the way we ended our season, was getting beat soundly by this team. So that's a good way to motivate you and be ready to play this summer. And
you have not arrived yet.
and right, we haven't. And these girls, our girls, bless their hearts, I mean, they want to play basketball.
It's good.
The little Tori Peterson. She's running track, and she had track practice and ended at 5:30, I think. And she called, and when we pick her up and take her to the courthouse to open gym, so I said okay, and she did great.
Well, that's what you want. You want kids that want to be in the gym.
To be there. Absolutely.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Scarlett, since she's being honored here today. What about her?
Well, Scarlett's been my favorite player from day one.
Shh, not supposed to tell the other kids that.
Okay. She is just, well, all around girl. She's the sweetest girl there is. My daughter has said, I think she's the nicest girl I've ever known. She's really, really pure.
Yeah.
And I think she started for us as an 8th grader and scored some points because we had other girls that were older, and everyone focused on them. So she got a lot of shots and scored. So she's been a scorer, 8th grader, 8th grade year. Had to be a scorer last year, and this year she was a leading scorer. I figured out one time, but maybe 13, 14 points a game. She had a high of 22 in one game, and she had a low of 0. She scored 0 points in one game.
Which is very unusual for her.
Very unusual. And I'm not even sure, it wasn't on video. I'd like to see how that happened.
Yeah.
But we won. And so we didn't need her scoring that game. But she's a great team leader, brings a lot, getting the girls together, praying with them, trying to talk them down if someone's really mad or upset. My daughter, and she's good at talking Fanny down, and just a great all-around leader.
Good. Well, thanks for coming from the farm. I appreciate it, buddy.
You're welcome.
Talk about Scarlett, and wish you guys the best of luck. See you. Hopefully a little basketball more this coming year.
Absolutely.
And get a chance to see how the girls do and the schedule you have and all that, okay?
Well, thank you for all your support, Randy. Thank you, Epifano Sports Network. We're so lucky to be included and involved, so we thank you very much.
Yeah. now we got Nicholas out of college. Maybe we can get some more basketball on next year.
That'd be
okay?
awesome.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more student athletes. Stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network.
Thanks,
you
guys.
Buddy. Appreciate it. Okay. Lily, all right. Yeah, just tell them you're a guest.
It's like the mic thing. You want to look at it, it like also it broke on it. I mean, I think it'll work. It's just try not to bend it.
Uh-oh.
No.
Hey, you might have to just hold it, Lily.
Just put it down like this.
I got you. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Is this your first time?
Yes.
Yeah.
You get like start the 5 seconds. Just camera the range.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm getting at the age now where last names stick out. I'm like, first name, well, whatever. All right. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Lily.
I've wrestled since I was 4, and I made it to the state finals this year.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
You a freshman?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, girl, you got 3 more years to go.
Yep.
You spoiled yourself by going to the state your first year. Now everybody's going to expect you to go back there, right?
Yep.
Including you.
Yeah.
How was that experience at the state?
Really exciting, because when my brothers got to go, I wasn't able to go because it's really expensive to get in. So I just had to watch it, and it's a lot of fun. You make a lot of new friends.
When you talk about being up in that crowd environment and stuff like that, let's be honest with you, you probably don't get a lot of crowd with the Rams wrestling meets and stuff like that. And each level you go up, it gets a little bit more crowd and stuff. But when you have, 14,000 people hollering, screaming at you, and you got 6, 7 matches going on at the same time, did you have a tendency maybe just getting a little distracted or maybe a little bit overcome, like, man, I can't believe this is going on?
Not really. Over the years, you kind of learn to just block it out. Like when you're wrestling, you kind of just zone into only wrestling. Like you can hear your coaches, but other than that, it's just you and the other person on the mat, just who wins.
You mentioned the fact that you got to go to the state finals. Tell us a little bit about how that match went.
It didn't go in my favor, sadly. I ended up getting thrown and pinned, but it was still a really fun experience.
Did you have a couple pins before that?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. So
pinned my way through.
You pinned your way through up to the finals.
Yep.
Okay, well, just gives you something else to work on for next year, right?
Yep.
How'd you do in the league?
I got first at OHC, and then at pre-regionals I got first and then second at regionals.
Are you surprised by how it seems, we're probably a little behind the times, but how fast girls wrestling has really come on, especially in the last 4 or 5 years?
For sure. When I was little, I had to wrestle boys all the way up till my 7th grade year of first year of middle school is when I was able to start going like girls tournaments and trying to wrestle just only girls, see how it was.
Wow. What makes girls wrestling different than boys wrestling? Besides the obvious, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some different techniques. You guys use the same holds, what?
Nothing, no rules are really different, but in college I do know they wrestle freestyle instead of folk style, and there's 3 divisions of boys and only 1 division of girls. So like if you win state, you are the top of the state. If boys win state, it's like the top 3 because 3 different things of it. So.
Okay, so that's the way Ohio's set up, right? You just have the one division? Okay. Now when you look at girls wrestling in the future, and you guys, Greenview's always had a really strong program. Why has it been so successful?
I feel like there was always some girls that wanted to try it and just like didn't really know, because nobody really wants to wrestle boys in high school because they all hit puberty and are really strong.
Yeah.
So once we get to wrestle girls, it's like, oh, it's like an even playing field. It's like we all have a chance.
Okay, good. What are some of the activities you're involved with at school?
This year I played football and then wrestling, and I'm in softball right now.
Hold on. Did you say you played football?
Yes.
And you're talking about even field, not going against the guys, and you're out there playing football with the guys. What position did you play?
I was a little corner. And
really?
Yeah.
Did you get to play much?
Not really. But when I did play, I got to be in like 1 varsity game and ended up getting able to get a tackle. That was pretty cool.
What you gonna remember that when wrestling comes? Some girl gets sassy, she's gonna say, remember, I can take you down, baby. Oh, that's cool. Why'd you want to play football?
Because I did it 5th and 6th grade year, and I stopped for middle school because the kids were kind of big, and I had other things that I was doing. But I was like, might as well try it in high school because you don't see girls trying it in high school. So
yeah. How'd you enjoy the experience?
It was pretty fun, actually. The boys didn't like treat me different or anything. Like I was part of the team.
Okay. Thinking about going out again next year?
I don't know. It's kind of a iffy thing. It's not like I was on varsity and played a lot. I kind of just showed up and got to play JV. So.
Okay. But you just like you see, you play corner position, stuff like that. That's a good position to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tackle somebody, but you can also pick up the interception and learn the ball and stuff, and helps you keep you in shape for wrestling and things like that. So that's good. Okay, we've got the athletic stuff. Are you involved in clubs and things like that at school?
We have a new club called Sources of Strength, and it's like knowing our strengths throughout life. And we just actually had a full like school assembly, like teaching people about it.
Okay, well, give me a brief explanation.
So there's like a wheel of 8 things, like good friends, generosity, like you know your strengths, that you have good friends, like you have family that can support you in hard times, like going through things, you know you have things that you like, go to that will help you.
Okay, sounds pretty interesting. What's your favorite class?
Math.
You like math too, huh? Seems to be a trend. The kids we've talked to, everybody likes math, and that's good to be in. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Making the state finals, that's still quite an accomplishment, even as a freshman. And I know that whether you're tackling guys out on the football field or taking down the young lady on the mat, you'll be very, very successful, and who knows, you may be back next year. We'll have to wait and see, right?
Hopefully.
All right, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Stay right there. We'll be back. We'll talk to, we got 2 coaches? I think we're going to talk to 2 coaches, and we'll be back with that right after this.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds, can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite and get down with each crispy crunch.
It's hitting yours, real nice.
All right, back here on our student athlete program. With us now are 2 coaches. Head coach of the Greenview program, Mark Matt, and the assistant, Matt Henricks. Okay, you guys are really got to answer this question. When somebody hollers, "Hey, Matt," which one of you answer?
All of us.
Yeah.
There's even more. There's even more. So
I've been thinking about that ever since I saw the names. I thought I got to ask him that. That's what's called a little humor. It wasn't that funny, but I thought I'd try it anyway. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's first of all, let's start off with Mark. Mark, you're the head coach, right? Mm-hmm. You've been there for how many years?
This was year 7.
Gee whiz. You guys really must like Greenview. I mean, Kyle was there has been there for 11, 12 years. So
yeah, this is actually 20 years coaching at
really?
Greenview. Was an assistant football coach from 2005 up until 2017 when I took over the wrestling program. So 7 years with wrestling, but 20 coaching at Greenview now.
What was your philosophy when they said to come to you and say, okay, we're going to start a wrestling program?
Well, wrestling program had been going for many, many years. And it had been very good for a long period of time. And then it hit kind of a rough spell. Some different things happened, and the program was on really tough times. And honestly, it was one of those things that winter, as we came out of wrestling or out of football season, that just was on my heart, and I had prayed about, and I thought it was an opportunity for me to give back in a different way, and that was to try and come in and work with the wrestling program, and it's just been blessing after blessing since then.
What is the key to your program? I mean, you guys have always been successful, and now it's gone into the girls section as well.
It's a great community with good people and small town values of folks that work hard, and we live in a world where a lot of times people are becoming less receptive to feedback and being coachable, but we still have a good group of young people that are willing to be coached and willing to take feedback and are willing to get their hands dirty and do the hard work.
Okay. Now, Matt, when do you guys kind of divvy up the coaching responsibilities, or do you kind of like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, do you work with certain weights, or is it together, or what?
Yeah, we work with everybody. I kind of try to focus in the girls' side because I go with them to the tournaments more than when the boys go. But Mark makes the practice plans, and we kind of follow a routine daily. And we go around and work with everybody when we can.
Now, you guys had a couple of sisters that played wrestled a couple years ago.
Ellie and Carly Harlow graduated.
Yes, Harlow, yeah.
Wrestling at Siena Heights University up in Michigan now.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the girls program has been very, very successful, to say the least, and you've had some state qualifiers, including Lily, of course, this year. what was the key to her season? What do you feel why she was able to basically jump right into it as a freshman?
Just a lifetime of wrestling, really. She's done it forever, did it with her brothers, and, you know, I didn't know how she would stack up with the girls, but, you know, pretty quick we found out she was going to be real competitive, you know. Just work hard, and we put her in tough situations when we could. We put her up a weight class a couple times and wrestle better girls, you know, to try to get better.
I guess basic on the Harlow sisters, when I looked at her resume and I looked some records up last night, and I'm thinking, she's only 125 pounds. I was expecting maybe in the heavyweight class and stuff like that. So it's small. I was surprised how small in the weight class she was, but that has to be to advantage, especially with an athlete that's got that background. Is it easier in the lighter weight classes to be able to move around than it is maybe for the girls a little bit on the bigger side? Or
that's a lot different style of wrestling.
Okay.
You know, the lighter ones have a lot different style than the heavier girls do, you know. So I don't know, easier or not easier. You know, I know once you're on your back with anybody, a lot of times you're not coming out. So
okay. Do you guys have a certain technique or certain style that you try to teach the girls? I'm kind of concentrating on the girls right now since the Lily One stuff.
The big thing I would say is that every kid is different, right? Every kid is unique, and when you're coaching football or something and you're going to run shotgun spread, everybody has to be able to do that and find their place within it. Within wrestling and being individual, one of the real challenges is trying to find that kid's personality and the things they're comfortable with and really maximize your positives and minimize your negatives. So finding the things you're good at and how do we get better at those things, what are the things we struggle with, and find ways to not be in those positions, not do those things. So as a program, I think some of our success comes from really getting to know and develop relationships with the young people and find the things that work for them and then help them develop those things, as opposed to saying we're doing some one-size-fits-all approach of everybody's going to do this.
Right.
Like really trying to hone in and help that young person identify the things that they're good at and the things that we need to work on.
Matt, finally, as we look at with her season going to the state finals, obviously she wants to win state tournaments and stuff like that, but what are some of the areas in her career or during the off season, I guess we should say, you're hoping that she continue to work on?
Oh, really? Just confidence and being able to put up points. You know, we got to attack and get takedowns and put points on the board to be able to keep winning, you know, and you got to have confidence to do it.
Real quickly, for folks that are not used to wrestling, let's go over the point system real quick. Pins, takedowns, how's that work?
Takedowns are 2 points, escapes are 2 points, or escapes are 1 point, reversals are 2 points. You get back points, so you can get, you know, if you get, say you get to the 4 count, you get 3 points.
Okay.
You get team points for pins. So was it 6 points for a pin? If you just win by, you know, you have a decision, a major decision, get more and more points as you go, but ideally just pin everybody.
That makes life easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Well, if everybody just pinned everybody and get it over with, and, you know, pile up the points really quick. Yeah. So, like, all right. Well, guys, appreciate you coming over, talking about Lily, about your wrestling program. Like I said, we've had you guys over here before. That speaks well of your program, that you got some very intellectual girls in your program and guys in your program that can win these awards, so that's good as well. So again, just want to make sure I got these guys' names correct since they're so far apart. Mark, Matt, and Matt Henricks. All right? That was a joke, Nick. Nick's like, what's he talking about? Matt and Matt, remember? All right. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more basketball. We got just a couple kids left. Stay with us. Don't go away. Start of the game will be coming up in about 30 minutes or so, so we'll have that show for you as well. So stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't gonna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy. It's a party for your taste buds. Can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite, and get down with each crispy crunch. We'll paint the town.
Back here on the Student Athlete Awards program, with us now is the Fayette Christian School male winter sports, Brady Bumpus. We sit here figuring, I don't know how many times you've won these awards, buddy.
I don't know.
We're going to start calling it the Brady Bumpus Male Student Athlete Award or something like that. I mean, you do have the all-time scoring record.
Yeah.
Is that your highlight, I guess, of your playing career?
I would say so.
What, when you came into this season, you were a couple hundred points, I think, away, right?
Yeah, I think about 200.
Okay. So what were some of the things that you mentally were trying to prepare for? Plus the fact you got a new coach.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we got a new coach. It was also a rebuilding year because I was the only returning starter. All the other ones graduated. So we knew we had a lot of work we had to do, but I feel like we did a good job. Yeah.
You knew the ball was coming to you, right?
That was the plan, yeah.
I'm going to say, that's all the coach kept saying, give it to Brady, give it to Brady, you know. And it's like, Coach, everybody knows you're getting to Brady, you know. You don't have to tell everybody.
Yeah.
How much extra responsibility or pressure did that put on you, or did you even feel it?
Yeah, I felt it a little bit. There was some pressure, just I knew people were looking at me to get the 1,000 points was first, and then after that, the record.
Yeah.
So I felt some pressure with that, but you know, my teammates helped me out with that. They wanted me to get it, so that was good. And coaches helped me out, and they wanted me to get it. So.
Did that help the fact that you got to play with Nicholas at least a year?
Yeah, it did. I really enjoyed playing with Nicholas. I looked up to him, and
it's amazing that you've got the record. Nicholas, 4 years ago, and we got to be blunt. The way Jake's scoring right now,
yep.
Jake's got a chance of even breaking your record.
Yep.
Which is phenomenal. You could have 3 of the school's leading scorers within about a 6 to 8 year period.
Yep.
Yeah, and you all play together at one
really
time
cool.
or another.
Yep.
So I would assume there's probably no jealousy there, right?
Nope, no jealousy at all.
I mean, you get no irate phone calls from Nicholas and saying, how dare you break my record and all that stuff, right?
Nope.
He's probably too busy trying to play college ball, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Yeah, he's very happy.
Yeah, that's good. What stuff are you involved with at the school? Besides sports, because I know you play sports, but
yeah, I'm taking college classes. I'm pretty busy with that, and then we do some extra things like bridge building competition, mock trial competition, honor society, things like that.
I gotta say, there's some of the things that I've seen you guys actually get to do that maybe the public schools don't get to do.
Yeah.
Like the building the bridges and stuff like that. This competition. How did that work?
How's it work?
Yeah.
So we go up to Columbus and we build a mock bridge, and you have, I think it's 3 hours to build it. You get a limited amount of supplies and materials, and then they'll add a bucket and they'll keep adding weight, and then you just see how much your bridge holds, and then they put up a leaderboard. And there's a bunch of schools there. I think there was, I don't know, there was a huge building full of schools this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All around Columbus area. So.
Wow. So what's the end reason for all that?
It's just an extra thing you can do. I think a lot of kids looking to go into engineering as their degree do it, but we did it for science class 2 years ago and we enjoyed it, so we decided to do it again.
That was the answer I was looking for, the engineering and science. That's good. You mentioned you're taking some college courses. What are you taking?
I'm working towards an associate's in business management. I got about a year done, so next year while I'm working, I can finish the other year.
Why am I not surprised? Business. You going in business with your dad?
Yep.
Are you really?
Yep. It's a plan.
Great. Now that school's almost over with, obviously you've already discussed what some of your future hours and stuff. What are you going to try to do with some of your free time?
Actually, so I'm going to keep on taking my college classes, and then I'm going to work with my dad and then work at the farm. And I actually, I've got a spray drone. I'm going to be doing some of that, spraying crops with a drone.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that's interesting.
Yep.
Say the least.
Try that out this summer. So.
All right, good. People can call you up if they need a job, right?
That's right.
Okay. Hey, we're here to help all the kids.
We're going to use and deliver food around here.
Yeah, just drone with the food, yeah. What is the one thing, when it's all said and done, your years that you went to the Christian school, you got to play sports, I mean, you got to play under a Hall of Famer coach.
Yep.
You've had several different coaches that you've been under and things like that. But what is there one particular thing that you can look back with pride and say, Brady, this was good? What would that be?
I don't know. I mean, I just hope I influenced a lot of the younger kids behind me to do their best in everything, you know, sports obviously and academics and whatever you do. I just hope I set a good example for them to look up to.
Okay. Well, folks who didn't get a chance to watch this young man play this year, especially, he's done it all 4 years, and it reminds me a lot of Nicholas. I'll throw him in there too. But these are two young men, in all honesty, that they probably could have went to a public school, or even they could have scored another 10 to 15 more points a game. But they were always looking for their teammates, always giving the ball up, part of the offense, defense, and things. So you were a total team player, and that's one thing I always wanted to tell you, is that even though you got your points, you made other players around you better, and that is something that you can be very, very proud of.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Brady Bumpus, who is our winter sports male student athlete. When we come back, we'll talk to his coach. Still got two left after this, so stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds, can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite and get down with each crispy crunch.
All right, we're back here for the Student Athlete Awards program. With us now is Noah Gibbs, the head coach of the Crusaders program, was Brady's coach. How's it feel to have the all-time leading scorer on your team?
I mean, it feels good, but it's definitely nothing that I've done. It's all Brady's work. I heard you talking to him saying that all I was saying was like, just give Brady the ball, give him the ball.
Well, I know you were doing more than that.
Yeah,
but, you know.
but that was the whole game plan, was give Brady the ball. And it wasn't just the fact that I wanted him to get the 1,000 points, but it was because him having the ball in his hands was the best for our team.
Right.
And Brady's the first player that I've ever seen where I've had to say, can you be selfish?
Yeah.
Can you be selfish and it be all up to you? Don't pass the ball. You just take it. And yeah, there's a couple games where I can remember where he did that phenomenally. It was just so good.
Yeah. Well, it's like I told him. I said he's probably, along with Nicholas, probably the most unselfish players I've seen. Yet still be up there in the scoring thing.
Yeah.
And I think that plays well too with his teammates, is they realize, hey, if he doesn't have a shot, I'm going to get it. But if he's got a shot, I'm going to make sure he gets the ball.
Exactly.
So it kind of works team-wise, and that's what you want. When you took over the program this year, obviously, Coach Schaefer, you will be the first to admit that.
Yep.
Coach has his style. You got your style. What was your style? What differences did you try to introduce to the kids?
Try to, I guess, kind of move on. Let me think. Make it a different era, I guess. Kind of try to make it more fun. Make it try to be more enjoyable. Make the sport enjoyable, but also make winning and obviously praising God too during it.
Right.
In which Coach did very well, but you could see kids were starting to get kind of burnt out. So my whole philosophy was let's try to be fast, speed up the game. The second, have practices try to be fun. One thing I learned a lot from Coach was to make practices competitive, not to just be drills over drills over drills, but make them compete in practice, because that'll help them compete in games. And so I took a lot and learned a lot from what Coach Schaefer did, and just kind of tweak some things. Not really massive changes, but just, practices almost looked 100% identical.
Right.
But it was just little changes, little tweaks, trying to have a lighter attitude, I guess.
Well, you got to put your own stamp on the program.
Exactly.
Anybody, a coach or whoever, leader, management will tell you, when you're taking over, you got to make it your program, not my program. But it's got to be your program, and you did that this year. When you looked at the team, and you even mentioned the fact that, and I remember back when we was covering the soccer for the league, and you were coming out and talking to Nicholas and so forth, and we were talking about the style of offense you were going. He was telling you, I'm going to speed it up and stuff like that. And I looked at you and I said, "What in the world are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know about this, Noah," but you got it going. Maybe you didn't get it to where you wanted it to, but at least you saw the improvement and you saw it being instituted by your kids.
Yeah, and so I think the biggest difference, what I had to change was, Coach Schaefer had, seniors upon seniors, and he had a whole group of kids that he just kept working with, and then it kind of ended this year with Brady being the last one of his players, really. And so, other than Brady, we had 4 new starters and a whole new bench, and so Brady is really the only player that has seen the system and played the system. And that being said, we also had a lot of players that didn't play basketball. In order to play a slow, kind of technical style of basketball, you have to have players that played before and really played before. And so that's why I try to implement 41 offense, 4 out, 1 in, Brady down low, switch it between him and Jake a little bit, but try to run down the court more. As if you watch Crusader basketball in the past, it was kind of, let's slow it down, let's play perfect offense, pass it around, get it down low, and put it up and in. This year we tried to go a little bit faster, just to hopefully eliminate turnovers, which that, as you saw, Randy, was not successful.
It was not pretty. It was not pretty.
It was not pretty at some times. Yeah.
You played, of course, at Vet Christian. Part of your game style was always, you like to shoot the threes as well as anybody. I remember your playing career, and I'm like, this kid, he's all over the place, but you did good.
Sometimes.
How much of that playing style did you want to institute in your coaching style?
That playing style, I really wanted to give to one player, and that was Jake.
Yeah, I'm gonna say,
because out of any Brady was completely different, because Brady's an animal. He's down. So if you want to look at Brady's career, he's always been a starter. With Coach Schaefer's offense, he was actually a wing player.
Right.
This is his first year ever playing down low. Because we had Drew, he was 7 foot tall, and Justin, who was big body too. And so Brady was a wing all his life until this year. And so Brady had to do a lot of adjusting, and he went down low. And so then Brady's not a shooter. think the last game he made his first 3 of the season.
Yeah.
And he made 2 of them.
Yeah.
And so he could shoot, but that's just what I wasn't wanting him to do. But I wanted Jake to kind of have that kind of mindset. Jake has some of the best handles I've ever seen, and that's kind of what your favorite call that I've ever heard with me playing is when you said, "Boy, that big boy, he can move. He can dribble the ball and he can move." And
you told me this during the season.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, and that's kind of what I told Jake to do. That you can create offense off the dribble and shoot off the dribble, and then if you don't have that shot, you pass down to Brady. And so a couple players, mainly only Jake, is who I wanted to kind of play, I guess, similar to how I played. Everyone else, you kind of have to coach a player. You can't coach the entire team and expect the entire team to play one way.
Right.
You have to give them a formation and then coach each player on what they're good at and accept what they're good at.
Final question. What does a Brady Bumpus mean to the program?
Well, Brady Bumpus, he is probably, other than Nicholas, those two have the same work ethic where it's nothing's given to them. You know, they work at it, and you can tell. I played with Brady. I was a senior when Brady was in 6th grade. I played with Nick, and there's a reason why they're the 2 leading scorers in our school is because of their hard work. And it's something I told Nick and something I told Brady is when I was a player, I wish I had the work ethic that both of you do, and that it's weird. You know, being 24 years old, playing with 2 players, and I assistant coach Nick, I assistant coach Brady all the way up, and then end up being his head coach. And so it's a different dynamic, but they changed both of them, and Brady in particular changed FCS basketball by showing his dominance. He could have played at any other school and done the same thing.
Yeah.
And because he would have listened to anything that a coach would have instructed him to do, and he would have done it. He never second guessed me, and which he could have. I gave him full green light. If you have an issue, you bring it to me, because I trusted him with that. A couple days, because I'm a first-year teacher, a couple days I couldn't make it to practice right on time. Called Brady, said, "Brady, can you start practice for me?" He's just a natural-born leader. He was someone where it made first-year coaching super easy. It's going to be hard without him.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the season.
Thank you.
You had a winning season.
It was. And we won our championship, too.
You won your championship, so that's good as well.
Yeah.
And we'll see what now next year brings.
We will.
All right.
We'll see.
Hopefully we'll be there, some more broadcasts.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I heard. I wish we'd have had Brady on a little bit more, but we did get his 1,000 points.
Yeah.
Broadcast, you know, so he can always go back and watch that. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of pictures of you, my friend, on all the sites.
Yeah.
With the 1,000 points and the school record and everything like that.
The one thing I wish I saw Brady do more this year was dunk the ball, because he dunked probably like 4 or 5 times last year and only got, I think, 1 or 2 in this year.
Yeah.
That's what I was pressuring him every game just to see.
Well, he's got the inside game to say that he was dominant, so he's a good one. All right. No, thanks for coming out. Appreciate it, buddy. All right, we're down to our final 2 guests. Stay with us right here on the Student Athlete Awards program right here on the Epifano Sports Network.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds, can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite and get down with each crispy crunch.
right, we're back here for the Student Athlete Awards program. We got 2 more guests left, plus coaches. Then we'll take a very short break, and then we'll go right into the star of the game. There's not a lot of kids able to be here today, so that show will be just a little bit shorter, but we do appreciate you staying with us here on the Epifano Sports Network. You might remember at the start of the show I said there was a couple families that I think all the kids have won some type of McDonald's award. This is one of the families. Maggie Walls right now. Maggie's older sister won some awards. Your brother John won some awards. In fact, he won Star of the Game last week. And now you're here again with a student athlete. You know, you still got 1 more year, right?
1 more year.
All right. Well, that's good. We might have who knows? I'm gonna have to go back and see how many awards you guys have won.
Maybe.
Or go around the house
or
count
we
them
have
up,
some plaques sitting around.
Yeah, a lot of plaques sitting around. Maggie, you're the Washington Courthouse Female Student Athlete Award winner.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your school activities. What are your things that you do there?
So I'm involved in most of the AP and honors courses, and then outside of just my regular classes, I'm also involved in student council and DECA, so I stay involved with a lot of stuff.
A lot of you guys are saying AP. What's that mean?
It's advanced placement, so it counts as college credit, and you take a test, so it's a little accelerated. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, she's a brainiac. What can I say? You, of course, now have had a chance to play under a couple coaches, and you got the coach out there just waiting to get on the air. I know how he is.
He's ready to talk.
He's ready to talk. But anyway, what was some of the differences that you saw this year compared to in the past? And I'm not saying one coach's style is wrong, one's right. It's just different. So what was his style like that you had to kind of adapt to?
Yeah. We ran some different offenses, different defense, so the approach to just like taking the game was a little different, and he used people in different places, so getting used to that, I kind of handled the ball some more this year, and just finding out where to put all of our players, so yeah.
It was one of the, I've kind of designated when doing your games, you're kind of the 3-point shooter.
Correct.
You know, that's your forte.
Yes.
You can drive if you have to, but you don't necessarily need to. What is that an area of the game that you still feel that you need to continue to improve on?
Yes, definitely. And moving into next year, it's always good to have multiple people on your team who can handle the ball, and it just makes you more of a threat, and if you can get past the defenses that way, it's good to help your team and find a way to score. If you can work on both skills, they have to be able to stop both. So, yeah.
How much knowing John over these years, and shoot, he graduated after I did, so that goes to show you how old he is, but he's not quite that old. But watching him play as well as in high school, he's a big defensive type of guy.
Yes.
Is that a little different philosophy, what you guys had to learn on the defensive style this year, or what?
So defense, it was a little different this year. We played some zone, and we worked on pressuring more like full court, and I think that's definitely something we'll do more next year, just like with our speed, but defense is a really big part of the game, and making sure you can stop the ball, and then translating and getting points on the other side.
I'm sure that John, if I'd ask him, I said, what do you feel you need to do next year? He probably said, I would like to have about 6'2" or 6'3" transfer come in and play center.
He would love that. He would love that. We all would.
You guys are a little bit on the short side.
Yes.
But how do you battle that? Because you guys were going up against teams that are all taller than you.
Right. We really just have to use our speed, and if we can keep the ball from getting inside, that helps. But we will have Peyton back next year, and she'll be able to play the whole season.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
So she'll be back for the whole season, which will be a big help.
Okay. I'll ask the coach about that. That was one of your players that had to leave at half season.
Half season,
and she was just starting to come on.
Right.
So good. I'm glad to hear that she'll have a chance to come back next year for you. Who's the toughest opponent that you've gone up against?
This year, I would say Logan Elmo's pretty good. They have a pretty good guard, some good speed, good height, but yeah.
What was the highlight of your season?
Probably the Trace game at Trace. Yeah, that was a fun game. A lot of people there. It was a close game, so going back and forth and making a lot of shots in the second half to really pull out that win was very fun and rewarding.
Yes, and I believe you won the star of the game for that as well. So not only did Maggie get the student athlete, she also won a star of the game. So we're not going to ask her to stay around for the second show. The way she's talking, she probably would go ahead and love to talk about that game again. But anyway, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Well, Maggie, good luck to you. Doing anything in the spring here? Are you in track or anything?
I'm in track and club volleyball, but I'm recovering from an injury right now.
You are?
Yeah.
Nothing serious, right?
Not too bad.
It's not going to keep you from playing sports next year, right?
No surgery. Just getting better for next year and this summer.
Glad to hear that. All right. Well, Maggie Wall, who's a Washington Courthouse female student athlete, we're going to talk to her coach, John Denon. So stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds, can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite and get down with each crispy crunch.
All right, we're back here on the Epifano McDonald's Facebook page, Sports Network, and also on YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. We will have our Star of the Game program coming up in just a few short minutes, but we still have one more student athlete and two coaches left. Then we'll take a very short break, and then we'll get into our Star of the Game. And a couple of guys are going to hang around, so we appreciate that. I know spending all morning at McDonald's is fun. Get to eat a lot of food and visit with people. And
about ready to eat lunch.
Yes, I was going to say, the man will serve you lunch if you want it, you know.
I appreciate it.
John Denon with us right now. John, of course, his first year back at Washington Courthouse. Well, this is your third time now?
Third time.
We just keep coming back.
As my grandmother said, bad penny always returns. So
here, I thought you'd just come back to visit me again.
Well, you know, if you buy me lunch, I'll go anywhere. So.
John, let's talk about the team this year. Obviously, you've stepped in different situations through the years, rebuilding a program, taking the program at a certain level, taking it higher and stuff. When you came here to the program, what were some of the challenges you thought you were going to have to overcome?
Well, we got started late, number one. You know, I probably didn't meet the kids till 10th of June. And generally, most summers, I generally finish up as a coach the end of June.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. Now that you can coach longer, coaches are done. But you know, with our situation being a smaller school, and you know, like Maggie's a great example of playing three sports. I would always finish up around the 1st of June. There was one time that I went past 4th of July in my coaching career, and that's because we were at a basketball camp in North Carolina. But I just wanted to give the kids a couple, 2 or 3 weeks off before they started their fall sports and stuff like that.
Right.
Now, credit to Maggie and some of her teammates. When we finished up the end of June last year, they were like, hey, can we come in and shoot the ball? And they continued to shoot the ball, and we did that. We just shot the ball. We didn't play or anything, but we did that up till right to the start of the fall season and stuff like that. So the late start hurt us. You know, getting to know the kids personally. I knew who they were, but I did not know them personally.
Right.
And you know, that takes a while, and it's just, and then you had to rebuild a culture. Not that we had a bad culture before.
Right.
It's just a different culture. And I heard Maggie touched on that. a little bit, and change is different.
Right.
And sometimes it's good, sometimes it takes longer, and things like that. And the third thing is, honestly, I knew who Maggie was, and I knew who Callie Weed, Salamane was, and the first time I met with the group of girls, I'm looking around, I'm like, I honestly thought that, man, these look like junior high kids, because we were so tiny.
Yeah.
And that's tough to overcome, because girls' athletics is just getting bigger and faster all the time. Huge change, huge difference.
I was going to say, that was one of the things that when I had a chance to talk to you during the off season, you looked at me and says, Randy, we are small.
Yeah.
That I have got to. He says, I don't know how you overcome that.
Yeah.
But you had to work at it. And
well, it wasn't. I would say most teams probably had 20, 25 pounds on each girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we plan on doing coming up this summer is we're going in the weight room, and we're not looking to put on muscle pounds like you would for a football team. We're working on just gaining some strength where we can hold positions and stuff like that a little bit better. We will be a little bit bigger, but every 6-foot kid walking around Fayette County that I don't recognize, I'm like, you want to play? Oh, I can't play. Let me be the judge of that.
Yeah. You can catch the ball.
Yeah,
we'll work with you.
You can play. You can play. So, it's just challenging. That's the things I like to do, though. You know that.
Yeah.
Going way back to when I coached the boys program, I like just getting in the gym, working with kids, and we're off to a good start with what we got this spring. So I'm happy.
Now, Maggie mentioned something about, is Peyton coming back?
Yeah, Peyton Hughes. Peyton was a sophomore, and a very unique situation. Peyton's family and the Washington City Schools Athletic Department, we told the truth about Peyton. They moved in the area. Her mother was a Circleville person.
Okay.
And so we do have a past. And Peyton wanted to come into Washington Quest Place. He lives in the Miami Trace District. We were upfront and honest. There was a little kink in there with a family situation, and the High School Athletic Association denied her eligibility. So she could only play the first 11 games.
Yeah.
And then she had to sit out the second half of the season. As I spoke to somebody with the High School Athletic Association, I said, our punishment is we told the truth, because this goes on in a lot of places, and they get around the rules. But Peyton was great with it. She came in, she practiced every day after she was declared ineligible, and it's just gotten better.
Yeah.
Great family for our community, Miami Trace and Washington Quest.
And she did a great thing. It was the way she ended it. She did it with the Miami Trace game.
Correct.
It really came down to her or Maggie for the player of the game, to be honest, the start of the game. But we gave it to Maggie, but she had probably her best game.
She did.
And then you did it on the post-game show. You told me, well, she's going to be right. She can't play second half of the season. I'm thinking, what?
Yeah, she played volleyball also, and the same thing happened to her at volleyball.
Yeah.
So that was just something that I didn't want to announce to the community, but I'm glad she finished it the way she did.
Yeah.
I got to give a lot of kudos to my assistant coaches, because when she came in after she was ineligible, they would give her a task during practice. Okay, you're going to be a ball handler today.
Yeah.
You're going to do this. You're going to do that, and she really worked on her game through that. And,
good.
And it's off to a good start basketball-wise this year.
All right, finally, let's talk a little bit about Maggie. Being from a sports family, that probably has to help play to an advantage for her, that she already kind of knows some of the basics of the sports and things like that.
Absolutely. Maggie is, her mother and father were both athletes at Washington Courthouse, older sister, brother. Maggie grew up at the ballparks.
Yeah.
And then when she got the opportunity to play, she's been around that, since she was a young child. I think that's a huge advantage. She's very easy to coach, kid. She will run through the wall for you. Great example of Washington Courthouse kids. And I would say, in my opinion, but everybody would say that about Maggie Wall. Smart kid. Again, I'm very proud of the fact that she plays 3 sports. She's injured right now. I don't know if she mentioned that.
Yeah, she said she was injured. So.
Yeah, so she's got to get healthy, and it's going to be an injury that's going to linger for a while.
Okay.
But she'll work extremely hard on getting healthy, and she's an unbelievable volleyball player. I mean, she plays the back row, and I got some volleyball coaches that are a friend of mine, and they're like, I just tell my kids just to keep it away from her. Do everything you can to keep it away, because she's going to put it back up in the air. And she's a great bouncer. She's a great shooter. I think she ended up shooting 48%, a little bit over 48% from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
And Coach Dan wants her to shoot a little bit more.
I told her, I said, you're good 3-pointers, but you got to work a little bit more on it. You do that, look out.
Yeah, she's great at that. And like she said, I heard her make a comment about we depend on her handling the ball a lot, and she'll move forward with that. Looking forward to it next year.
All right, we're going to give you a little break. I think you have a couple other girls that are here we'll talk about in the second show.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
We can talk about them, but...
Okay, well, we'll worry about that because it's not time yet.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, while he goes gets lunch or whatever, we'll take a break. We have one more guest. Stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds, can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite and get down with each crispy crunch.
All right, we're back here with Jake Manbeavers. Jake, you won this last year, didn't you?
Won.
Did you win a Student Athlete Award winner or Star of the Game Award one time?
I won the Student Athlete last year also.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's my second time, yes.
Yeah. We don't have too many people that repeat, so I thought you was one of them, so that's good. All right, you play football.
Yes.
And you bowl.
Yes, and I'm in track right now in the spring.
You're in track?
Yeah.
What do you do in your spare time?
Probably those 3 sports, go to practices for them. But I'm also in 4-H in the Junior Fair Board, so it keeps me busy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your project?
Rabbits. I've showed them ever since I was in 3rd grade, so.
Okay.
It's been a good project.
You ever have a grand champion or anything?
I've not had the most success with them, but it's been a lot of fun.
Well, so the Schwartz family always seems to dominate.
They're pretty good, they're pretty good.
Talk to us a little bit about your school activities. I'd like to say, you play a lot of sports, but let's be honest, you got to get the grades so you can play the sports. So what are some of the things that you study?
This year I've been in a lot of some more advanced classes, like calculus has been a really hard class this year, which next year in college I'm going to be majoring in statistics. So I'm kind of choosing that.
What's with these kids and this math stuff? I think we've had 6 of the 8 kids have talked about math is one of their favorite subjects.
That's what I'm going for.
And that's good. I mean, I'm not knocking it. It's just phenomenal that everybody's matching.
I do really like math, but my favorite classes are definitely the FFA and the ag classes. I spend more than half my day down in the ag wing. And it's just a great environment. You learn a lot of life lessons down there. So.
When you talk about FFA and stuff like that, Miami Trace has always had an outstanding program throughout the years and things like that. What are some of the things that you do take as far as studies and things like that part of it?
My 3 classes this year, I'm in an agronomic systems class, which we talk a lot about the production of corn, wheat, soybeans, different pests and insecticides that we learn about in the fields. So that one's really useful. I'm in a shop capstone class, which really that class, we kind of just do what needs to be done around the shop, but we build a lot of different projects with woodworking and metal projects. But my favorite ag class is probably my livestock class.
Okay.
Which here soon with the new addition of our FFA barn, we're going to be having animals come into the school. So that'll be really cool to have animals there.
I didn't know that. Well, that's something.
That's the future plans.
Future plans.
Yeah.
Maybe you come back from college and you'll see it.
Might have to visit, yeah.
As I mentioned, you play football and you're on the track team. What are some, where are you positioned on those?
Football, I was the safety this past year, and that was a really good season. I was also served as a captain of the team, so I really enjoyed that. And then in track and field, I'm a sprinter, so I run like the 100, 200, and 400. I run the relays of those same events.
Okay.
So it keeps me busy.
Is one of the reasons that you play so many sports is to continue to try to stay in condition all year round?
That is part of it, but I enjoy all the sports.
Oh, okay.
So like the conditioning is it's just part of it. Like in football, I have a lot of fun, and then in track, it's a lot of fun also, just to compete and be able to continue playing a sport while I still can.
If someone was to ask you, Jake, tell us what is the highlight of your career, what would it be?
It's been a really great career. Bowling-wise, probably taking this team to state this past year. Like I've had a lot of numerous individual accomplishments, such as my 598 from last year, ranking me very high in the nation and state. But being able to take Miami Trace to the state as kind of like a captain of the team is really memorable because it's the first time the boys ever been to state, and to place top 8 in the state, I think that's really cool.
The fact that you are such a good bowler and you have maybe played up at that higher level individually, what did that make you feel like that you could kind of take your teammates with you a little bit?
It made me feel really good because I've been in situations like that before where I felt the pressure, and I've been in situations where I've lost some and I've won some. And a lot of my teammates, they haven't felt that as much. So I'm glad to be able to give them that experience. But also, it kind of felt like I did a little bit more. Like I said, I've done the individual accomplishments, but to be able to take my whole team farther, that's something I hadn't done. And I was glad to be able to do that for them and for Trace as a team.
It was nice you were able to do it your senior year, but also a little frustrating, like, man, if I could have maybe next year.
That's right.
You know, we could take it maybe another level or something, you know?
That's been the whole entire senior year is like, if I had one more year, what would I do differently?
What was the, as you mentioned, the highlight, getting to take the team to the state and things like that. When you look back on your career, school, any sport, what is the one thing that you're most proud of?
I've had a really great high school career, I believe, and I'm proud of a lot of things, but probably just the friendships I've made along the way. The people I've met, the mentors that have helped me, and I think I'm very proud of maybe a mark that I've left on them. It's like hopefully a positive impact I've made in their lives, as they've made a really positive impact in my life. So that's probably one thing I'm most proud about is the people I've met along the way.
Well, it's been a joy to watch your career. You're a good athlete. You're an outstanding bowler, to say the least.
Thank you.
And I'm still trying to figure out what you guys are screaming when you do the Baker games, when we cover you on Facebook.
We got a little different chants. One of our Baker chants was when we strike, we'd say tick, tick, and then kerpow. I have no clue exactly where it came from. It's just always kind of been chanted. But one we came up with is when we threw 5 strikes in a row, a lot of teams will yell Yahtzee because like the popular board game Yahtzee for 5. We like to change it up a little bit because like Panthers, we're like Panther Nation, and then we yell Let's Ride. And that was kind of a chant that we kind of owned this year.
Okay.
And we really like that one.
Well, I heard a lot of Yahtzees too. So
yes, those are some of the other schools.
What's that got to do with anything, you know? But anyway, well, now I understand it.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. So now, next year, if we cover them in bowling, even though you won't be there, Jake, you'll be watching the broadcast, you'll hear Yahtzee and said, oh, okay, well, the guys are continuing what we've started.
They're pretty good.
All right. Well, good luck. Have you decided on a college?
I am going to head to Ohio Northern University.
That's a good school. Good school.
It's a really good academic fit, and I'll be bowling for them next year.
Well, of course.
Yes.
I mean, what way even go if you can't bowl, right?
True.
Well, good luck the rest of the track season, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, Jake Van Beaver's joined us. He's the Miami Trace male student athlete. We'll talk to his coach and then wrap things up. Stay with us right here on the Epifano.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of
Okay. Okay, we're back here as we wrap things up for our Student Athletes Award program. With us now is Ron Moore Sr., who is the bowling coach for Miami Trace. Appreciate you waiting for so long.
No problem, Randy.
And I know you had breakfast early, so you're like John Denton. You're ready for lunch, right?
Yep.
It's on the boss.
Okay.
Let's talk about your bowling season this year. Obviously, one of the highlights of your coaching career that you've had with these kids. Tell us a little bit about that.
They got to the state this year. They finished 8th. They done a good job, and they took we bowled the number 1 seed in the state when we got to match play, and they took them all the way. It's a best of 5, and they made them bowl 5 games before they beat us. So
wow,
a good bunch of kids.
Individually, how'd you guys do? You had a couple kids were in the top 15.
We had Jake was in the honorable mention in the state, and so was Cole Whiteside.
Okay.
Cole, I think Jake might have been 15th. Cole might have been 12th, I believe.
Okay, good.
And then in the districts, Bryce was, I can't remember. He was in the top in the districts.
Yeah.
I can't remember just which one.
Yeah, he was. Well, I know it was like, I want to say he was like top 15. I think he was a little bit higher, wasn't he?
I think he was in the top 5 or 7, something like that.
I thought it was a little bit higher than that. So yeah. I guess that makes coaching easier for you when you got so much talent.
Oh, it always makes it easier, but I seem like I've always had a bunch of good kids, and I don't know. It's fun to work with kids that want to improve, and they listen to you, and they try hard, and they bowl for each other. They get along well together, and I think that all makes a difference. You just kind of guide them a little bit. You know, you can't make them do something they don't want to do.
Right.
They either want to do it, and you try to help them out. But just like this year, we had several seniors, and when you've been with them for 4 years, it's like they'll come to you and say, "Is this what I should do?" Because they've heard it in the past.
Right.
And then you'll either tell them, yeah, you need to do that, or maybe do this, and to make adjustments and stuff. So and when you get a team like that that tries hard and works well together, it's definitely a joy.
When you look at a team like this, did you kind of in the back of your mind think, okay, I've got these underclassmen, they're going to work their way up? Did you kind of set maybe in your mind a goal, hey, maybe by the time these guys are juniors or seniors, we might be able to make a knock on that door at the state? Or did you think that far ahead, as per se?
No, I don't think I try to think that far ahead. I just try to make them improve every year.
Okay.
Try to all make them better as we go, and you always hope for that.
Right.
But I don't think, if you think like, well, we can do that. Well, yeah, you always want to think you can do that, but you don't want to be disappointed either.
Right.
Because I've had some other teams that I thought could do what this team did, and they just didn't quite get there.
So you kind of like the pleasant surprises.
Well, I don't know if it's a pleasant surprise, but it makes it fun.
Yeah.
It makes it fun to work with a group like this. And really, when I tell you that they all supported each other, and they all worked well together, and they all tried to improve, and all of them did that from the time they was freshmen. And we've had a really good bunch of kids, really have.
Let's talk about Jake. Possibly the best bowler Miami Trace history?
One of the best, no doubt about it. One of the best. I've had 3 or 4 others that's been very good, but I would say if he's not the best, he's right there with anybody else.
Yeah. What is it about his game makes him so good?
He works at it. He works at it, and he wants to be better. Having the talent isn't the only thing that makes you better. It's what's here.
Right.
You got to want to do it, and you study the game, and he listens well, and you tell him, this is what I think you need to do, and he will at least try it. Some of the guys, you'll tell them, this is what you need to do, and, well, I don't want to do that. But that's what it takes to get better. You got to really want to do it. You got to work at it.
Right.
And I think, yeah, he's definitely one of the top.
So now what are you going to do to replace him and a couple of your other fellas?
Oh, we have some good bowlers that's coming up. There's Hunter Tanner, Austin Campbell,
Cole Whiteside,
Cole Evans, Austin Ruth. There's several others pretty good.
What do you tell these guys to do during the off season?
Practice. Nothing beats good practice.
The more you practice, the better hopefully you'll become.
Exactly right.
Can't show up in November and expect just to pick it up, right?
That's exactly right. And I had a good, for instance, of that one boy that's bowled 3 years, and this year he didn't work at it over the summer, and he didn't make the team this year.
Really? Wow.
He was very disappointed, and I was disappointed in him. I won't say his name, but and I asked him, did you work over the summer at it? Well, no. And he barely missed making the team.
Wow. So that'd be a lesson. If you're going to be a student athlete, make sure you work all the time, all right?
Exactly right.
If you want to be good, you got to work at it. Well, thanks for coming out today. You're going to hang around for the other bowl, right?
Yep.
All right. Give us a few minutes and we'll get that one underway, all right?
All right.
So thank you, Ron. We'll take a quick break, wrap it up right after this.
I step into the golden arches, feeling the beat. Gonna tell you about a sandwich that's a special treat. Got that bacon sizzling, a taste you won't forget. With that Cajun ranch, it's a flavor you won't regret. Wanna dance with me to the rhythm of the McCrispy? It's a party for your taste buds, can't you see? Grab that sandwich, take a bite and get down with each crispy crunch.
All right, well, I guess we went long, but that's okay. We had a chance to talk to a lot of fine young people and their coaches as well. We hope you enjoyed it as well. Now we're going to take a real short break, just a few minutes. We have a few kids that are still here for the student Star of the Game show, and we're going to talk to them and their coaches as well. So don't go away. We're not quite done yet. We're getting close. So we'll have maybe a couple repeat coaches coming back as well. So we're going to wrap it up. We'll be back in just about 10, 15 minutes or so. So join us right here on the Epifano Sports Network. Thanks again to all of our young people, the student athlete award winners in the